Hello and welcome to JROCK'S Babylon. And we happen to have, interestingly enough, Babylon AD lead singer Derek Davis. I've interviewed you before, Derek. And last time, of course, we were talking about this, which is currently the latest album. The new one comes out September 1st. So first of all, that's a quick turnaround for you guys. Like just a year later, brand new music. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, took about this is probably the fastest we've ever made two albums in a row, actually. I mean, I think they're about 16 months apart.
Oh wow, yeah, and it's interesting because for years, going back to the very start of Babylon AD, probably the song that was a big breakout song for you guys was, of course, um, Bong. Was it Bongos? The
Bang Go the Bells.
Bangos the Bell. That's it.
Yeah,
And there you go. And this new album, I tell you, it's just kind of it was, I dare
different new
say,
album.
popular, very popular. Yeah, you know.
Rome
Uh,
wasn't built in a day. Yeah, it did very well. We're
Yeah,
very
Rome
happy.
wasn't built in a day, and that's a great title for that. But I think it's fair to say that was quite a comeback.
Thank
Never
you.
went away. But I mean, I love the fact that the bands love you guys even more for the music you're putting out now.
Seems like that. Kind of seems like there's a resurgence, a lot of young people have been showing up at our shows, which is kind of mind-blowing.
Mhm. And I would imagine those a lot of those new fans are discovering the older music, which has got to be fun for them.
Yeah, I think the music scene is more like there's no boundaries anymore. I mean, my son's girlfriend is 21 years old, and you never see her without like AC/DC,
Yeah,
Motorhead, Aerosmith, or whatever shirt on. I mean, she's just a rocker, and she's only 21.
yeah. I mean, AC/DC, they're still out, out there touring. You got to love that. I mean, they're one of the last true original metal bands that are still out there doing it.
True. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm sure, like a lot of us, talking a bit about the loss of Ozzy Osbourne, that must have been a huge loss. I mean, for you, I'm assuming he must have been one of those guys that influenced you as well.
Absolutely. When grade school, junior high school, you start listening to War Pigs and Paranoid and stuff like
Yeah.
that, Children of the Grave. And actually, it's funny. Children of the Grave was probably the second song that a band that I put together ever played learned. The first one, of course, was Smoke on the Water. You
Sure,
know,
sure.
and the
Yeah.
Children of the Grave was second. And we
Yeah.
recorded it and everything in a garage. So I'll always remember that.
And so while we're on the topic of the new album, which is called "When the World Stops," you held that out a little bit ago. Now I know you guys got a new record deal. That's pretty exciting. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, we got approached by three different labels actually when they heard the demos of this new album, and we just chose what the record company that we thought would fit us best for where we're at this
Uh,
particular time in our career. So we went with Kibble Records, and we'll see what happens. Everything's looking great so far.
Again, talking about being on that comeback trail a little bit that I was talking about. I mean, like a lot of the bands, from a time like grunge came and kind of seemed like the scene, the hard rock scene, kind of went away for a while. Never truly, but at one point you couldn't get a record deal, and now the fact that you have three record companies making you an offer, that's got to be a great feeling.
Yeah, it is. I mean, they're not nothing like they were in the old days.
No,
With
but
maybe
yeah,
a million bucks. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah.
But everything is a lot of social media nowadays. It's a totally different animal than it was back then.
Yeah, and I do think kind of like you said, it's a totally different world today. But a lot of bands, you do what you have to survive. But a lot of bands are kind of doing the nostalgia thing. A lot of bands aren't putting out any new music, and I guess if that's what you have to do to make a living, you do whatever it takes. But the fact that Babylon AD is at a point in their career where you're putting out new music and people are loving it just as much as the old stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting, man. I don't really think our creativity really ever stopped. I mean, for me, I did a blues album, a rock album, a
Mhm.
soul album. I kept on working. It just wasn't Babylon AD.
Yeah,
So I've kept working the whole time. You know what I mean? Just in
yeah.
different various projects. But as for Babylon AD, it's just been a great ride, and it's really cool that I've got three other guys in the band that can write music,
That's
so I
great.
have a lot to choose from whenever I'm writing my own songs or the material that they
Mhm.
give me, the guitar riffs they give me, and then I create a song out of them or whatever. It's pretty cool because that's probably why it didn't take that long to do this new album.
Yeah.
Um, we had a plethora of ideas.
And so, do you guys all live together? Like when you get together and start writing, does everybody just kind of write on their own, or do you?
No,
Yeah.
no. The process is either I write songs on my own and then I give them the demos to the guys and I say, "What do you think of this?" And if they like it, then they learn it. And Ron will give me like a demo with guitar riff and a drum machine, like
Mhm.
that type of thing. And so will John, and the other two guys that joined the band a couple years ago will do the same. So I've got all these ideas always coming to me. It just depends on if I hear a good riff, then it's like, oh, I could do something with that, and then I'll kind of create a song around it.
So I seen that you guys I don't know if the tour's kicked off yet, but I seen a poster on Facebook that you guys are definitely going to be touring. Is the tour kicked off yet?
September 2nd, we played Denver and Salt Lake City last weekend and the Whiskey the week before, but we're heading over to the UK on September 2nd, and then we're over there, and then we play Greece. So we'll be gone almost a month.
Let me ask you in regards to that, Derek. Will that be your first time in the UK, or has the band ever been over there before?
No, no, this will be our fourth time over there, but this will be the first time we played a tour. Before we've played like 4 or 5 dates in a row, or
Okay.
spread out over a week, that kind of thing, and some big festivals, that kind
Yeah.
of stuff, with Twisted
Okay. And
Sisters.
how's the band accepted overseas? I mean, you got a pretty strong fan base over there.
Great, it's crazy, man. You go over there and it's like a whole new level.
Yeah.
In our
Yeah.
hometown, it's like, oh, Babylon AD, right on, man. You go
Yeah.
over there, it's like, yeah.
Yeah, I hear the European fans. I don't know. They support their bands or they love their
They
metal a
do,
lot more.
man.
Yeah,
Yep. The UK. I mean, and there are tons of clubs to play in.
yeah,
It is totally different than just like, I mean, think about it. The UK is not that big, man.
yeah.
Quarter the size of the United States, but they got 20 times more clubs probably to play, you know?
And you laugh, but you mentioned the fact earlier about like songs like "Smoke on the Water." I mean, if you think about it, a lot of those great metal bands, that's where the sound originated from, the UK.
That's right. That's
Yeah,
where it all came from. Led Zeppelin.
yeah. Deep
It's
Purple,
it
Sabbath, all the
yeah,
great originals. And
exactly.
so talk a little bit about were any of these songs on the new album left over from the last one, or is it all freshly written?
Yeah, there was a couple that we had in our pocket. The power of music was in our pocket, and another one was in our pocket where we felt like they could have been on the last album, but they were really good songs. We're like, well, let's make sure we got at least a couple good songs for the next one.
Yeah,
And some of them were freshly written, and a few of them I had written maybe a couple years before and never really even showed the band. I just thought they weren't ready to be shown to
yeah,
the band, and then when I showed the band, they were like, "Why didn't we put this on the last album?" Doesn't matter. It's on this
yeah.
one, you know?
And so, of course, the current single is the title track, "When the World Stops." Talk a little bit about that. The title in itself is quite interesting. I mean, do you have this vision of maybe what the world will be like when it ends, or what's the song about?
Well, the song is about two lovers at the end of the world, basically watching the apocalypse right before their eyes.
Okay.
And, uh, that's kind of it in a nutshell, really. What's going to
Okay.
happen at the end of the world? The nuclear bombs fall in,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
end of the whole world type of thing. And the two lovers are standing there, and there's a nuclear bomb, like, and there's nothing they could do.
Okay.
You
That
know?
makes sense. I can kind of see that now after watching the music video for it, which I
Yeah,
urge people to do. It kind of looked like an end of the world type thing, but
yeah, it
I'll
is.
say this: if that's how the world's going to be at the end, I guess we'll be going on a major like party.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And talk about the video itself because I mean, um, that looks like something you would have seen on MTV back in the day. I mean, really professionally shot. It looked a lot of it like computer generated, was it?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
used AI for the first time. I've never used AI before, and I was surprised how much I can get using AI. You know, it was pretty mind blowing to be honest with you, and it didn't take as long as the other videos that I've created. I've been doing videos for the band for like 20 years now,
Oh,
and
wow.
the other videos I created, I would have to think the idea up and then create the whole thing, and
Yeah.
it would take hours and hours and hours. And now with AI, I could create it what it is in my mind, and then
Yeah.
get the vision that I want,
Yeah,
and then edit it all together and splice it with the lyrics. You know, I'm big on like writing songs and having the lyrical content flow with the video so that
sure.
it's like a miniature 3 minute movie, you know?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, it very much looks very movie-like. Now, you said you've been doing, I think, for the last 20 years, directing the videos. Is that something you kind of just fell into, kind of, out of doing the band, or did you always have an interest in that?
Yeah, I always had an interest in it, even on the very first videos that we ever did with Arista. I mean, I was really involved with the ideas and how it was going to look and things like that. It just wasn't me, with the camera, or I was in the editing room,
Yeah.
but on a few of them from with Arista. But as time went on and it got a little bit easier and easier and easier to figure it out with yourself by myself with with the Apple nowadays. I mean, you can almost create anything, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So I learned a bunch of stuff from different people and stuff like that. And it started really with American Blitzkrieg. I think that came out in 2001.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that was all my stuff. I just had a guy that was with me that did all the editing because I didn't really understand it then. But
Sure.
it was all my imagery, all my thought process, and that kind of stuff. Like I said, I mean, I try to write lyrics that are kind of like gonna turn into a movie, you
Mhm.
know?
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of interesting that, again, you may have initially got into the video thing just kind of out of necessity, because of the band. But I would think too, being able to do it yourself, it's an expensive thing to put together a video like that. So if you
Save a lot
got
of
the
money.
ability to do it yourself, why not, right?
Yeah, you save money, but you don't save time.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah, yeah. It all falls on you, right?
yeah, you start nitpicking really like a 1 second, you could nitpick it to death for an hour. I don't
Yeah.
know about this 1 second, it's
And
crazy.
it's a labor of love, I'm sure,
It is.
doing it for with your own music and your own band. But have you ever directed videos for other artists?
No, I've been approached 2 times in the last maybe year or so. I just didn't have no time.
Okay, yeah,
It's all about how much time I got, man. I mean, I'd love to do some of that stuff, um, for other bands, but man, I just don't have any time.
maybe
I'm
if you ever
I'm
retire. I mean,
working
like
on my
like
own stuff.
like we said, at the top interview, who would have ever thought that Babylon AD would have kind of a second
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 win, yeah.
chapter, a second win, whatever you want to call it. But
Yeah,
you got to ride that win while it's riding, right?
that's right, man. It's like comes in waves like the ocean. Right now we're riding it up on top again.
Yeah, yeah. There you go. And so, how surprised were you when you put out "Rome Wasn't Built in a Day" and it had that kind of reaction from the fans? That'd be a great feeling.
It was a great feeling, but at the same time, we just knew that it was a really good, great album.
Yeah.
And working with the people that we've been working with over the last 2 years now, our publicist, the guy that does all our radio programming,
Mhm.
Tim Binder, our management, um, to get that affirmation from everybody like this is really good
Yeah.
before anybody ever heard it, set us on to, all right, we got something, man. Wait till this drops. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. And it sounds like too that you just kind of you kind of know that, hey, this is the sound. This is and it's just kind of a new album. I'm probably I'm assuming here, but I'm guessing it's kind of just a continuation of the last album.
It really is. I mean, it's still all Babylon AD. There's a little bit more, there's a few more different creativity type of
Uh,
things thrown in there. Like we have one song that has a lot of piano in, almost like an Elton John thing,
oh,
which
wow.
we've never done before,
Yeah.
but the song is beautiful and it's great, you know. We could have just left an acoustic in with the guitars and it could have been like a despot, but we decided to go all piano, you know,
And I
and
got
it
to ask,
really
was there any apprehension in doing that? Because I think it's cool that you can do that instead
makes,
of be like, no, Abilene AD are supposed to be hard rock. I dig that you wanted to
No,
kind of go there.
I'd say the reason is because when I wrote the song a few years ago, I had massive piano in it, and when anyone I'd showed it to would say, "Wow, man, this song's great,"
Yeah.
and nobody said, "Oh, well, that don't sound like Babylon AD," because it's still my voice, it's
Sure.
still heavy
Sure.
guitars, but you got piano. It's kind of like one of the songs by Guns N' Roses, maybe November Rain.
November Rain. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like something like that. You know what I mean?
Epic. Epic.
Yeah.
A great example, of that is too, like, I always tell people, you always hear people say that, piano and keyboards suck in hard rock music, but I'll tell you what, You listen to anything John Lord did on the piano in Deep Purple, and you tell me it
Yeah,
sucks,
you
right?
trying to say Purple sucked?
Yeah, I don't think so.
No
Yeah,
way.
yeah,
Or
yeah.
Led Zeppelin? I mean, come on.
Yeah, come on. I mean, Led Zeppelin, they were really kind of, they were all over the map. They were really, they got really
Do whatever
down
they
to like
wanted to.
some
And
blues jams,
that's what I've always wanted to do. Just be able to do whatever I want to do
Yeah,
and hoping that people will accept it, you know?
yeah. And so Derek, with the success of the last album and hopefully the success of a new one, once you start touring, I was curious, how hard is it to come up with a set list? Because again, the last album was a
And
massive hit, so it's like, how much of the classic stuff and that do we play?
it is, man. We got so much material from so many albums now. I think 7 different albums to choose from. So
Yeah,
I'm always trying to get at least 1 or 2 songs from every album,
yeah,
because
yeah,
certain fans have certain albums that they like the best. And of course, since you write another album, well, now you got a couple more of that album. Now we
yeah.
just
That
wrote
you want to
another
put out
album.
there.
Well, you got a
Yeah,
couple more of this album.
yeah,
So that it was funny because when we played the Whiskey 3 weeks ago, man, our set was long. It was like 18 songs,
yeah, yeah.
longest ever.
Wow.
But it had all the hits. It had the new stuff. It had Rome Wasn't Built in a Day. It had Revelation Highway, the one we put out on Frontiers Record in 2017. But our manager was like, "Man, you guys kicked butt, but I was worn out by the end of that set because it seemed like it was like an hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah,
So we've pared it back to about maybe 70 minutes.
yeah. I mean,
It's
you
hard because you're
probably,
taking out you're
yeah,
taking out some songs that people want to hear, you
yeah.
know?
I mean, you probably laugh when I say this, but I think maybe after this, it's time for a Babylon AD greatest hits. And I say that because you guys got so many great songs in the catalog. At the same time, a lot of these new fans aren't even aware of what came before.
You know what? That's a good idea. I never thought about
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. It's just like remind them, right? All this great
Yeah.
music. Who knows? And so, you mentioned doing other side projects. Of course, Babylon AD with the new album, that's like the main focus right now. But will you continue to do that? Put out other projects?
Yeah, I've already got 2 different albums almost complete. One's like a hard rock pop. I don't know why I say that, but it's got a lot of melody to it. But it's some of it could slide into Babylon AD, but it's a
Yeah,
little bit more poppy, like maybe a Babies kind of thing, Cheap
sure,
Trick. I
sure.
guess that's the way I'd say it.
Yeah.
And the other one is like a straight up like psychedelic soul rock album, like Lenny Kravitz or something.
Well, there you go. Why
I'm
not?
just
I
trying.
mean, I think people got to open their what they're willing to listen to a little more. I mean, would be a little more open. I mean, as much as I'm into hard rock and metal myself, I listen also from time to time to the Eagles, Tom Petty, and stuff like that. Because you know what? When I was growing up, that's what mom and dad played in the radio.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and even you go back, to bands like the Beatles that were way before our time. There's no denying that that's great music. Even the Beach Boys and stuff. I mean, great songwriting. Was taking place.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's
I
crazy
mean,
how
if we're
talented people
honest, even Elvis Presley has his influence, right? It's actually
everybody's influenced by something else, man. There's nothing new under the sun. It's just a matter of how you twist it and turn it.
sure. And so it looks like you're coming from your home studio. I was curious, Derek, how
Yeah.
long have you had that? And I'm sure that made quite a difference having your own recording studio to record all your stuff in.
Yeah, yeah. We always record the drums at another recording studio that we use just because it's we an outside engineer and things like
Sure,
that. And then we do the bass and all the guitars and the vocals and the background vocals and the post-production, pre-production, the mixing all here, and then we send it out to mastering. So we've got kind of like a little little recording machine going here.
there you go, there you go. And anything else you want to let the fans know about before you wrap it up for today, Derek?
Just to look for this record. The CD will be available on September 1st. There's pre-orders right now.
Okay.
They can check that out at our website, babylonadband.com. And all the shows are there. If anybody wants to check out a show, all the tickets to the shows are there. You can watch some new videos and things and find out some exciting news about the band.
And then, I love the fact that like I went on your YouTube page and again, the new album doesn't come out till September, but it seems like you're always getting hits. So I love the fact that the fans are still out there supporting you guys.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome, man.
Okay,
It'll be
well,
fun.
Derek, was great talking to you again. I'm going to try and get the interview up tomorrow night. Once I have it up, I will send you the link. But thanks for doing this, man. I'd love to
Yeah,
have you back once I've
yeah,
had a chance to hear the whole album. Okay.
yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, I'll send it over to our publicist and maybe have it put up on Facebook or whatever, however he does the stuff.
Okay, great. Thanks, man. Take care. Bye
Okay,
bye.
man. Thank you.